The movie opens at a hospital. A doctor questions why an X-ray was requested for a simple hand bite. It seems excessive. He asks Nurse Anna to locate the patient, but when she checks the system, she's surprised to learn the man has already been transferred to intensive care. That alone feels unsettling. After her shift, Anna returns home to her husband, Luis. That evening, while they're distracted together in the shower, a breaking news alert interrupts regular TV programming, but they never notice. Next morning, Luis wakes to find their neighbor, Vivian, standing strangely still outside the bedroom. When she steps forward into the light, her face is smeared with blood. Horrified, Luis tells Anna to call an ambulance and cautiously approaches Vivian to help. Without warning, she lunges and bites him in the neck. Anna shoves Vivian into the hallway and slams the door shut as Luis collapses onto the bed. She presses a pillow against his wound and frantically tries calling emergency services, but all lines are busy. Outside the bedroom, Vivian pounds violently on the door. Luis appears to die. But moments later, he suddenly jolts back to life, no longer himself, and attacks Anna. She manages to shove him off, grabbing the car keys as he begins hurling furniture around the room. Panicked, she hides in the bathroom and falls into the tub. The window is stuck. Then, everything goes quiet. Hesitantly, Anna calls out to her husband. Instead of answering normally, Luis crashes through the door. She struggles with the window again and finally forces it open. As she climbs out, Luis nearly grabs her, but she kicks him away and jumps to safety. Outside, chaos has erupted. Houses burn. Explosions echo in the distance. People run screaming through the streets. When Anna tries asking a neighbor what's happening, he points a gun at her and tells her to stay back. Suddenly, an ambulance speeds by and runs him over without stopping. Luis staggers out of the house. Anna jumps into her car just as he leaps onto it, smashing at the windshield. She speeds off, shaking him loose. Driving through town is nearly impossible. Panicked drivers crash into one another, and desperate people throw themselves at moving cars begging for help. On the radio, a host urges everyone to stay indoors and secure their homes, adding that even military bases have fallen. In the middle of the devastation, someone suddenly opens Anna's car door and tries to drag her out. She fights them off, but loses control of the vehicle, crashing into a tree. As the infection spreads worldwide, officials struggle to explain what's happening. No one understands its origin or how to cure it. Riots break out. The military floods the streets, attempting to contain both civilians and the infected. Hospitals overflow. Entire buildings explode daily. When Anna regains consciousness, she's confronted by police officer Kenneth, who demands she prove she's not infected. Together, they encounter 3 other survivors who initially mistake them for zombies and open fire. Once the misunderstanding is cleared up, the group decides to head for a nearby mall after discovering every road out of town is overrun. They barely make it inside before a wave of zombies closes in. Kenneth shoots the lock, and they force their way through the doors. A zombie nearly slips inside, but Kenneth kicks it back and slams the entrance shut. Inside, they move deeper into the mall, breaking through a store window to access the main area. While Anna washes blood off in a fountain, the others secure entrances. Andre and Michael check the back exits. At the arcade, Michael is attacked but manages to kill a zombie by stabbing it through the head with a broken hammer handle. Back near the entrance, a zombie grabs Andre's pregnant wife, Luda. Kenneth intervenes but is injured during the fight. Anna shoots the zombie, creating an opening for escape. They rush to an elevator and reach the upper level, where armed security guards initially refuse them entry. After a tense standoff, Anna persuades the guards to let them stay, though their weapons are confiscated. Watching the news, they learn the grim truth. The only way to kill the infected is by destroying the brain. A military outpost called Fort Pastor is mentioned as safe. Kenneth recognizes it as his brother's post. As days pass, they reinforce weak points in the mall and paint an SOS sign on the roof. The guards clear out any remaining zombies inside. From above, the group sees the town completely overrun. They spot another survivor, Andy, trapped on a nearby rooftop. They communicate using handwritten signs. When a helicopter flies overhead, the group desperately waves for help, but it doesn't stop. Soon more survivors arrive in a truck. After debate, the group allows them in. Among them is a critically ill woman. She dies shortly after arrival, only to reanimate. Anna kills her, confirming what they feared. A bite leads to transformation. When it's revealed that another survivor, Frank, has been bitten, tension explodes. Anna argues for quarantine, but others insist he must be put down before turning. Frank's daughter begs for mercy, but Kenneth ultimately shoots him after confirming the transformation. With time passing and rescue nowhere in sight, the group settles into a fragile routine inside the mall, holding on to hope while the world outside continues to collapse. Inside the mall, life settles into a strange routine. Kenneth and Andy pass the time playing chess by writing their moves on large signs across the rooftops. CJ and Bart gamble with cards in one of the storage rooms. Anna watches old movies with Michael. Nicole and Terry sit together under the night sky, while Steve divides his time between fooling around with Monica and practicing his golf swing on the roof, sometimes even smacking balls into the zombie crowd gathering below. As the horde outside grows larger each day, the group amuses themselves by writing requests on signs, asking Andy to pick off specific targets with his rifle. One evening, while everyone shares dinner and memories of the loved ones they've lost, the power suddenly cuts out. Andre rushes to check on Luda, who has grown dangerously ill. Fearing she might turn, he has restrained her to the bed. Meanwhile, Kenneth, Michael, CJ, and Bart head out to inspect the generator. They follow streaks of blood along the walls and hear movement in the darkness. Weapons raised, they prepare for the worst, only to discover a stray dog. The animal seems friendly at first, but its barking draws something else. A zombie drops from the ceiling and attacks Bart, biting deep into his neck. The noise attracts even more of the infected. The group retreats, but Bart is left behind, overwhelmed. Kenneth and Michael slam a gate shut to block the pursuing horde. As zombies attempt to climb over, the survivors fire what little ammunition they have left. When the gate begins to collapse under the weight, Michael finds a fuel pump and drenches the creatures in gasoline. CJ ignites it, triggering a fiery blast that incinerates the attackers. Elsewhere, Andre watches Luda die. He kisses her goodbye, then freezes when he sees her pregnant belly still moving. Shockingly, the baby is alive. But before he can process it, Luda reanimates. Carefully, he secures a belt around her mouth to prevent her from biting as she goes into labor. Norma, noticing Luda's absence, walks in to find Andre holding a newborn while Luda growls on the bed. She immediately shoots Luda. Enraged, Andre fires back. In the chaos, they kill each other. The others rush in at the sound of gunshots. Norma dies from her wounds, and Anna confirms she won't turn. Then they look at the infant and realize the baby is infected. With heavy hearts, they do what must be done. After restoring the generator and clearing the bodies, morale sinks. Kenneth admits waiting around feels worse than dying. Anna agrees. She refuses to end her life trapped there. Michael suggests reinforcing 2 buses in the garage as an escape plan. Steve jokingly mentions his boat, but the idea sparks something. They could drive to the marina and sail to a nearby island. The group gets to work fortifying the buses with metal, supplies, and weapons scavenged from the mall. During a quiet break, Anna and Michael grow closer. Kenneth updates Andy about the plan via rooftop signs, but Andy responds with a single word: hungry. He's visibly wasting away. They need to get him food. Remembering that the dog wasn't attacked earlier, they strap supplies and a radio to it and send it across the zombie-filled parking lot. The plan works. The dog moves untouched through the horde. But when Andy opens his door to retrieve it, zombies force their way in. He fights them off and manages to grab the radio, only to confess he's been bitten. Nicole panics and takes one of the trucks to rescue the dog. She parks it against the gun store and runs inside as zombies swarm the vehicle. Over the radio, the group hears her calling for the dog. Kenneth checks Andy's rooftop and sees the terrible truth. Andy has already turned. Determined to save Nicole, the group enters the sewer system to reach the store safely. After surfacing in the street, they battle through waves of zombies, eventually squeezing through the dog door into the gun shop. Armed with new weapons, they follow a trail of blood to find zombie Andy pounding on a door. Kenneth apologizes softly before ending his friend suffering with a bullet to the head. To escape, CJ creates another explosion on the street as a distraction. Amid the chaos, they race back to the sewers. During the retreat, Tucker falls and breaks his leg. CJ stays behind to help him while the others move ahead. Overrun, Tucker begs CJ to finish it. Reluctantly, CJ shoots him before escaping. Back at the mall entrance, Steve is missing from his post. Zombies begin pouring in. The survivors fire desperately until Anna opens the doors from inside. They rush to the elevators and regroup. Finally, it's time. The survivors and the dog board the reinforced buses and smash through the garage gates. Zombies swarm the vehicles, clawing at windows. The group fires through the glass while Steve even uses a chainsaw to clear a path. When the mass becomes too thick, CJ sets off another fuel explosion, blowing open the road. In the chaos, Glenn loses control of a chainsaw, killing both himself and Monica. Anna is devastated. Moments later, Steve turns and tries to attack her. She shoots him instantly. With zombies closing in, Anna retrieves the boat keys from Steve's body and barely makes it back onto the bus. The vehicles speed toward the pier, crashing through a final gate and skidding to a stop near the water. Everyone runs for the boats as the horde pours in behind them. CJ sacrifices himself, detonating one last fuel tank to hold the zombies back. As they prepare to leave, Michael reveals he's been bitten. He shares a final goodbye with Anna and pushes the boat away before taking his own life. In the end, Anna, Kenneth, Nicole, Terry, and the dog escape by sea. Days later, exhausted and starving, they reach an island at last. But as they step onto shore, they see movement in the trees. The island is already overrun.